So I want to get the elephant in the room out of the, just out of the way. Yes, I am very sunburned. As we can see, my shoulders definitely and got the worst of it. I got a little bit here. This shoulder does not hurt as bad. This one definitely is the sore of the two of them. It was Ren Fair this last weekend. So it was our spring fling. So spring fling just only lasts 1 weekend here. So we went, obviously, because it's Ren Fair and we love Ren Fair. And yeah, my pasty ass got my first burn of the season, which, if my first burn of the season comes from Ren Fair, I can't even be mad about it. I'm just, you know what? It could be worse. It could totally be worse. And we also took Dusty. It was his first Ren Fair as well. Did I take pictures? Of course not, because I live in the moment and I am a terrible online presence-er. I don't know. I'm just terrible about it. But yes, so we went to Ren Fair. I am burnt. I will probably look like this for the rest of the videos this week. If you don't like sunburn people, I guess I don't know what to tell you. I think I got it in my face too. It's kind of hard to tell with my rosacea whether I'm sunburnt or my face is just red. I don't think I got it too bad because I feel like if it was sunburn, I would have it like on my nose. Maybe I did get a little sunburn. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes. But instead of chattering on and on and on about it, we're just going to go ahead, roll right into it, and start with our intro. Once I get everything set up. I'm trying a little bit of a different setup today, so we will see how it works. I think I miss doing the couch life for the podcasts, so yeah. Also, I guess my other thing, I did post this on my Facebook because that's really the only thing I post like updates on and stuff like that. So if you want like regular updates, the Facebook page is the way to go. Description it's down there. You can also go to the link tree and find it via there as well. But my biggest thing is this is the last week we will be recording on Twitch for live during the day. It will not change the upload schedule for like the YouTube video and for the podcast, like the audio only podcast. That will still be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon, but it will change. It is changing what time I go live on Twitch to record. So for those that want to get into it, it might be a little harder this summer starting next week. This is our last week. We'll be recording during the daytime hours, like mid-morning, like right before afternoon. I will be starting recording probably about 5 a.m. Central Time next week, like starting Monday. So my recording days, I've already put it out on Facebook, and just to make sure I give everybody the same spiel. So that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. I'm just going to go to my Facebook because it's easier to find. So, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are going to be when I go live here on Twitch starting next week throughout the summer. It'll be about 5 a.m. in the morning. It'll be as close to 5 a.m. as I get. I'll be getting up about 4:30, taking this one out. I might make him wait to have breakfast until after I'm done to try and keep him around the same schedule that he has already. But getting up early, I have a better chance of being able to record uninterrupted rather than if I were to try and record later at night. Because if I record later at night, I can't guarantee that he's asleep, that my son's asleep yet, and that he won't get up to like go to the bathroom, and like then I have to sit there and like stare at him and be like, "Are you done yet? Like, stop fucking around." Because he likes to go to the bathroom and sing and do a whole song and dance just to go potty. So I digress. That is the only thing that is changing, though, is when I will go live here on Twitch. It will not change the upload schedule, if that makes sense. If it does not make sense, I don't know how else to put it. The only thing that will be changing is what days I go live and the times I go live. but the YouTube and the audio only podcast will go up same days, same time as usual. So, I might make an announcement like that, at the beginning of this episode as well. I might say, and I'll probably repeat it throughout the week. But I mean, the week that this video goes up is when we will have started the new schedule, if that makes sense. So if you're not watching this live, when you're seeing it on via YouTube, this is the week that it starts. I hope that makes more sense. Wait. Yeah, because this will go up. Yep. I had to make sure I was thinking things right. But yeah, we're just gonna go, ow. I had my hair all brushed, and I swear to God, that's like the curse about my long hair, is that I can like sit here. I could sit here as still as a statue and not move for like 5 hours, and somehow I would still have like a knot in my hair. I don't get it. Anyway. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I remembered that I almost didn't eat before this, and I didn't feel like listening to my stomach growl halfway through this, so I just eat real fast. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and roll right into it. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Phoenix Reads. Today's episode is a series of Am I the Asshole? That's right, guys, it is Monday. As usual, I don't read any of the stories I'm about to read with you. I will leave any usernames in the description if you want to leave your own opinion on their post, given it is still up. My username for Reddit is in the description. Feel free to tag me in stories that you'd like to hear me read. Let's get started. Sometimes I feel like I need to shake it up a little bit, and I'm not sure what I would do to like change up the intro sometimes. We are on episode 9. It's crazy. And I also have another kind of announcement, I guess, to make. So I'm gonna go through it, probably explain the whole thing again about the summer schedule, and then also make my other announcement as well. But I'm just gonna get stuff set up real quick. I don't understand what that means, but we'll find out. Hey everybody, happy Monday. I hope you guys all had a good weekend or a good day, whatever time of the day or what day you are listening to this. I do have a small couple of announcements before we get started. If you are watching via YouTube, you've kind of already heard this, so feel free to skip ahead a little bit. But starting next week, so the week that, well, next week for me, current time, this week for you listening to this, I am starting a new recording schedule. So not upload schedule, recording schedule. So for those that don't know, I do go live on Twitch when I record my videos, which is how I get them uploaded to YouTube. So my thing is that I currently record Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays while my kid's in school. This is his last week of school. So summer break starts next week, and to combat recording and being able to still record uninterrupted without him coming out here or making a whole bunch of noise in his room and get him kicked up, I will start recording Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So I will be going I'll still be going live, but it'll be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at about 5 a.m. Central Time. So, if you had any hopes of watching the recording and getting seeing everything first before everybody else does, I'm sorry. I don't know how else to put it, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that is too early. Upload schedule will still be the same. It will still be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Central Time. It'll just be my recording time that will be changing. And for the second announcement, next week I will be recording the 1-year birthday, anniversary, birthversity, whatever we want to call it, of Phoenix Reads. When it first came out, it was called Phoenix Reads Reddit. We are no longer under that name. I am just under Phoenix Reads. So, if you guys have any ideas for the podcast, like if you have any special things, I have put this out on my social media. So if you have anything, please feel free to hit me up over on the social media. If there's anything special that you think would be good for the 1 year episode. It will be on a Wednesday. So June 7th is the birthversity. So when that day comes, there will be a regular episode. I might even do a special one, like maybe go like 2 hours or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. It might be hard because, again, it'll be during summer break. Summer break is kind of a finicky time of year for me. But I just wanted to put that out there. We will be celebrating somehow, some way. I'm thinking of going and getting like a little like one balloon to put in the background. I don't know where, because I'm now on the couch, but even if I was over in my chair, I don't know where the hell I'd put it at. Maybe like off to the side on my table over here or something. But regardless, I'm going to put something in the background for the YouTube video for it, and we're going to try and do something special. I don't know if we're just going to do maybe like an extra half an hour, maybe do 2 hours, like do an extra long episode. I'm not sure. If you have any ideas, given by the time you get this, you will only have like a day and a half to give them to me for me to be able to figure them out. But yeah, if you would like more in advanced updates, my social media is the best way to go, especially the Facebook page, because I am terrible at Twitter. So yes, so if you have any ideas that you would like to spitball towards me, please feel free to message me on the Facebook page. I will always get back to you as quickly as I can. I try to get notifications. And yes, you can send me stories there. You can send me pretty much whatever over there, or even just post it on the Facebook page as well. But enough with the birthversity and the announcement. We're just going to go ahead, roll right into it with our first Am I the Asshole story. Am I the asshole for lying to my boyfriend about my match day? Now, this feels like something that is not a USA thing, and I have no idea what a match day is. So, if it doesn't tell me in the story, if anybody would like to explain it to me, I would be much obliged for the information. We always love learning, so. This was posted from Best of Redditor Updates, so it has like a few like little inserts from the reposter. With one, this was posted March 20th of 2023. So I am 28 and my boyfriend, M32, have been together for 4 years. Our relationship has been amazing, except for when we have special occasions or gatherings. He is a really sensitive and emotional type to the point that it gets awkward and embarrassing. Match day is a day when med students find out where they will do their residency. Okay, so maybe this is a USA thing. I don't know. It just kind of sounded like, just the way that it was worded, it sounded like a not USA thing. Like, I thought it was like a Britain thing or something like that. Match day. Okay, yep. I have been extremely stressed because I was hoping for my first choice and didn't need any extra stressors. My boyfriend asked what time the event that my program was hosting to reveal the match day results, and I just knew he would be over the top with emotion and cause me embarrassment, so I lied and told him a time well after I'd find out. Match day was Friday, and I got my first choice. My boyfriend arrived an hour before the event ended and was visibly upset with me. He went home and won't return my calls. Am I the asshole? So first off, one of the things about being in a relationship is you knew that he is an emotional type. That's what you said. maybe instead of lying to him and hurting his feelings, you could have sat him down and been like, hey, listen, I'm already stressed. I don't know if I want you to come to match day, or at least wait until after I find out. So can you come a little bit later? Instead of just blatantly lying to him, be open about it and be like, hey, listen, so this, and this. Because again, being in a relationship, you need to kind of have that balance of whether the quirks that your partner has is something you want to expose, I'm going to use that word lightly, to other people that may not be used to it. If you catch my drift. So for me, to just blatantly lie is just kind of pointless. Like, what does it do? What bonus does it give you besides in the moment before you have to deal with the fact that you lied and you've been caught lying? Because this is obviously something that you weren't going to get away with it. So why lie about it? Like, that's kind of like the dumbest thing, is that why put yourself in the position where you're going to have to deal with more stress later than the stress you would have to deal with before. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, edit. Thank you everyone who has commented and gave me advice. I'd like to preface by saying I love my boyfriend and I know what I did was shitty and could have been avoided by a conversation. That being said, he did text saying he wants to talk. I'll update when I can. Edit 2. Yes, I know the title is wrong. I was thinking between 2 different titles and fudged it up. Sorry to those who keep asking. I do love and adore my boyfriend. Edit 3. I'm very new to Reddit, so please be patient with me. I want to know if I can just update on my page and maybe link this post to it. There was a judgment for this one. It says judgment asshole. So, big surprise there. My sock is weird on my foot. Anybody else ever have that problem? Especially when you wear ankle socks, like your socks kind of like tilt off or something to the side if you move wrong, and then you're just kind of like, ugh, fuck. I'm trying to get comfortable still. I don't know why I wait until recording to do this, but okay. So the update comes March 21st of 23, so just the next day. Many of you were spot on about my boyfriend not only being amazing, but also sensitive, something I find cute as well, and thoughtful. As soon as I typed up the first update, I went to take a shower. Upon getting out, my boyfriend is in a suit and is there, and there is an envelope in his hand. Yeah, I think now would be cause to cry. He said that we can do our own match ceremony. Inside the envelope was a paper saying you match with insert hospital and OP's boyfriend. Yeah, I did tear up and my boyfriend absolutely cried, but my God, he's a pretty crier. And yes, we have made sure we are on the same page. So first off, I'm glad that the boyfriend was able to overcome a lapse in judgment. Because do I feel like this was something that was worth breaking up over? Absolutely the fuck not. I can understand being stressed and wanting to not have any extra stresses, you know, for that day. Can I imagine myself doing the whole, oh, well, to do that, I'm going to lie. So, like, I'll still have to deal with stress and even extra bullshit later, but I won't be stressed out during the one thing that I'm worried about being stressed out during. To be fair, that's really fucking stupid. So, am I glad that OP's boyfriend is honestly pretty amazing and was able to look past this stupid lapse of judgment? Absolutely. Do I feel like OP was the asshole in that situation? Absolutely as well. But I think sometimes what we forget, especially when it comes to relationships, is just because somebody does something that does make them the asshole in that situation, doesn't mean it's worth breaking up over. So, let's move on to our second one. Am I the asshole for ruining English Mother's Day for my former adoptive mother? Why does this sound so bad? Maybe it's just me, but I don't know why, but that sounds kind of bad. My former adoptive mother was also my stepmother. She and my father forced the adoption on me against my will when I was 7 because she couldn't have children biologically. My mom was dead, and they felt like she deserved the official mother title and a place on my birth certificate. I feel uncomfortable. I never wanted it and begged them not to, but was ignored. They even lied and said Dad was sick to push the judge's hand, because apparently with me saying no, they needed something that would make a judge think it would be in my best interest. Nothing like lying to the courts. So they pretended Dad was worried something would get worse, and the judge decided it was safer for me. I never forgave them. I went no contact 7 months ago when I turned 18. I asked my maternal grandparents to adult adopt me to erase the original adoption. What is an adult adoption? I guess I've never heard of the words adult adopt, so I might have to look that up and see if that's a real thing, or if it's just like, just take me in under your roof and let me live with you like you would continue to do as after turning 18 with parents. Like if you're still in school. My stepmother is English, and ever since I knew her, she celebrated both the UK Mother's Day and our Mother's Day. Okay, so the UK has a different Mother's Day than us in America do. That's what they're getting at. And then, around midnight last night, I made a Facebook post thanking my grandma for adopting me and being a great mom to me. I don't even celebrate the UK Mother's Day, but Dad's parents reminded me about it and said I should post something knowing she would see. They weren't thinking of announcing the adoption thing, but that's what I did. Woke up an hour ago and she saw it thanks to other family members being friends to both of us on Facebook. I was told by an aunt that they're really angry and saying I'm an asshole because they had no idea I was no longer legally their kid. I guess I'm just confused about what an adult adoption is, like how that works. Because I've never heard about it. I've never heard those things before, so I'm curious to know how it works. Because that's a very interesting thing to happen. Like, I don't know. I might have to look that up. But if anybody knows already and wants to leave a comment, please feel free. I love being, like, taught new things. And I also feel like with my ADHD, I'm going to forget about it by the end of this. And I will never look it up. So if anybody watching this wants to leave a comment down below, or listening to this wants to leave a comment or message me about like, hey, this is what it means, I would be very thankful. Am I the asshole for saying my little sister's travel routine is excessive? Something's telling me they're going, so this is my, what do I want to put it? My guess for this story. Something about the sister has some sort of diagnosed or undiagnosed OCD, and the sibling is like downplaying it because, you know, they just don't understand it. That's my guesstimation. Please read the edit at the bottom of this post. I, 30M, that was also in all capital letters, by the way, so I guess we'll read it. I, 30M, have a younger sister, Anne, quote unquote, 27F. My sister has a job that often involves travel. She's always loved traveling and has been going on the solo travel trips since she was 18, so this suits her well. We were having our monthly dinner at our parents' house when all of a sudden her phone rang and she said it was related to work and had to take it. When she came back, I asked her if everything is okay, and she told me that everything was fine and she just had been trying to get her first floor hotel room switched to a second or third floor room for about a week since she didn't make the booking herself. I asked her why it mattered since she would only be staying in the room for one night. She told me that as a woman traveling alone to a town she's never been to, she doesn't feel safe staying in a first floor room and tries to avoid it whenever possible. I told her I didn't understand. Wait a minute. Oh, I told her I didn't understand why. She told me that there are several things she has to do as a woman traveling alone, specifically because she's a woman traveling alone. Oh. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for letting me know. Okay, so somebody in the Twitch chat, for people that are watching this afterwards and that'll be listening afterwards, they just gave me the definition of the adult adoption. It says, adult adoption in the UK is a legal way to eliminate parental rights from undesirable parents. I didn't know that that was a thing that could happen, like, as an adult. So we're going to take a step back to the other story. But I didn't know that that was a thing that as an adult people could do. I feel like that would have been something my brother could have really used. Because I don't know if I've ever told this story on here. When my brother was in high school and getting ready to graduate, our stepmom went with him to school one day when it was time to start filling out stuff for colleges, because he wanted to go to college. So she goes in there with him and tells him, sign him up for everything that he can get for grants or whatever, because we're not paying. But the kicker here is that they wanted to keep him for taxes, so they went on his FAFSA stuff for everything, so they were still claiming him on taxes. Now, the downside to this is that with FAFSA, if your parents are claiming you but not helping you, their money still counts towards you, and so if they make too much, you qualify for absolutely nothing. I feel like, one, that was an incredibly shitty thing to do. And so, my brother ended up having, like, a whole bunch of debt, and my grandma, like, our gran took out a, like, loan for him just to be able to get through his second semester in college, and it was really shitty. I feel like, looking back, it's what originally, oh, hi, Dusty! It's what originally caused the rift between my brother and my dad. So, yeah, that was the thing. If you have kids and you don't want to pay for college, don't try claiming them on your taxes. Because then you kind of fuck them over when it comes to FAFSA if they don't, like, qualify for, like, any certain grants or anything like that. So, just a quick thing. But yeah, I don't want to make any assumptions, but our commenter, Vilnai, says, yes, so for instance, if you were to get ill without the ability for advocating for your own health, it would prevent parents you'd want no contact with from making healthcare decisions on your benefit. It's a really, really good point, and I didn't realize that, like, as an adult, you would ever have to deal with a situation like that, but I guess, like, it's the same thing, like, if you are married, but in the process of getting divorced, but you're not divorced yet, your soon-to-be ex-spouse can still make certain medical decisions for you, even if you are no longer legally in a relation or not physically in a relationship with them, but the divorce isn't finalized yet. Like, there are people, lots of people do it. They get divorced, they meet somebody else, and before the divorce is finalized, that is my arm. He's just licking the crap out of my arm. It's one of those things where as you, like, they can make a decision for you medically without you, yes, much puppy love, without them technically having a say-so. And I think we've all seen, like, some sort of Grey's Anatomy episode where somebody's made an asshole decision just to spite their spouse that is sick, or soon-to-be ex-spouse that is sick. Anyway, backtrack to the current story. So, woman traveling alone. I honestly feel like I would feel the same way. Like, again, my husband travels for work, so he is gone. Like, he leaves Monday mornings, and I'm gonna say, like, 85% of the time, does not get back till Thursday nights. So, during the week, it is just me, my son, and the animals, which now includes our little Dusty Buns here. I have my concealed carry. We do own a gun. But I do still sometimes feel like, because we live in a first floor apartment, which it is very double-sided for me about that. I like being on the first floor because I have a 7-year-old. He likes to bounce around, and I would hate to be that upstairs neighbor where our downstairs neighbor are listening to my son bounce around fucking 12 hours a day, fucking 18 hours a day sometimes, I feel. And, you know, my husband's really heavy-footed, and I am clumsy, so God only knows how many times I fall and bump into shit and drop shit. And we have cats, especially one that is super chunky. I know she's been in a video before. So she, you know, her jumping off of stuff, which, I mean, cats, I don't think it's as bad even with chunky cats because they're still fairly graceful. But yeah, so it's very double-sided. I hate being on the first floor because I feel like somebody could break in very easily because we have windows that are literally, like, probably really hard to tell with the sun and the light. But yeah, I'm not even pointing up that high. But our windows are pretty much even with the floor, the ground outside. So it's definitely one of those things where I can understand where she's coming from. That, hold on, I'm grabbing a toy for him to chew on instead of my fingers. That she would want to be anywhere but the first floor, especially traveling alone. So I asked her to explain, and she began listing things she does, like doing a check over her room before she closes the door, checking the mirrors and drawing the blinds immediately, never using the room occupancy cards provided by the establishment, keeping her keys on the door during the night, and either ordering room service, eating dinner beforehand, or bringing it with her so that she doesn't have to leave her room. There's more, but the strangest part to me was that she says on trips of multiple days where she knows she's likely to go to have to interact with people, either at the hotel or people who aren't related to her work, she always has a pre-prepared story about who she is and why she's there that is never true. And in this story, she always mentions that she has an older brother. I told her I understand wanting to feel safe, but I felt that it was a little excessive. We discussed it and she called me an asshole. I mean, I feel like, let me finish this real quick because we're almost done with it. I brought it up to friends who agree with me, but my girlfriend and her sister say that I'm looking at it as though through the lens of privilege and haven't even tried to understand. My parents are trying to stay out of it, but I get the impression they agreed with her. Am I the asshole? Edit. Thanks to all the helpful links provided by commenters and DMs, I have revised my position and concluded I am the asshole. I will be contacting the mods to ask to lock this post so that those helpful links and advice can stay up. But failing that I will be deleting this post and apologizing to my sister and my girlfriend's sister. Thank you, everyone. Oh, thank you for your education, and thank you to the women in the comments sharing their experiences. So that's what I was going to say before I read the edit. Now I wish I hadn't read the edit first. I feel like so many men don't ever have that scary experience. Like, I feel most of the time when men have experiences like this, it's, how do I want to put it? It's through I want to say maybe spitballing, maybe 92% of the time, their experiences like that are through a crazy psycho ex, or they know a dude of a dude of a dude of a dude of a friend's sister, brother's guy that, had a crazy ex-girlfriend that would stalk him and try to break into their house. So, but I feel personally, nowadays I don't feel like I have anything to worry about. Not because I have my concealed carry, not because I give zero fucks anymore, but because I am ugly as sin, and I ain't gotta worry about nobody trying to kidnap me for sex trafficking, because that just sounds like it would be a punishment for whoever they sell me to. I do worry for my son, because my son is a very cute kid. But I have gone through a situation. It was the weirdest situation I'd ever been through. I was still living with my ex, and we were on our way home, and it's 4-lane traffic going across, 2 going that way, 2 going the way I was going. And I'm sitting there and we're at a stoplight, and you know, I'm one of those people where I don't just sit there and I stare ahead. I look around at a stoplight. You know, I see like, oh, you know, what's going on? Like, what's going on around me? Like, you know, what's kind of grooving. And I look over, and there's this guy, not right next to me, but he's like the car that was right beside me to my right, one in front of him. So he's not like he can just sit there and turn his head and look straight at me. He had to crane his neck and turn himself halfway around to look back at me, to see me. And he's just locked eyes with me, staring at me. No, don't chew that. He's trying to chew my keyboard. And I I stared at him for a little bit, and we locked eyes for a little bit, and I'm like, that's fucking weird. And like, given we were fairly close, like we were in 5 minutes of the house. And like, I'm driving because for whatever reason, I always seem to drive, even with my ex. With him, he was a scary driver. The second he tried to leave me for dead with a car rolling into traffic over a praying mantis, I drove from then on. But so, you know, the guy ends up getting behind me and following us all the way back to the house. I didn't even want to get out of the car. I just sat there because the street that we lived on at the time, it ended in a cul-de-sac. So it's not like he could just drive on. Like, he had to make that turn to come back around. And I'm sitting there in the car, and I'm just like, I'm not getting out of this fucking car. Like, I have nothing. I have nothing to defend myself. And so he drives past us real slow, locking eyes with me, staring at me, goes around the cul-de-sac, and then, before he even gets down to go turn around, my boyfriend at the time stands up and gets out of the car, and he goes, "Can I help you?" And he's just like, "I'm just, looking for something." Again, keeping eye contact with me the whole time, and then goes around, turns around, and drives off. That was the scariest moment for me that I've ever felt like, I need to get a gun. That was the scariest moment for me, given I am a fairly homebody person, so it makes sense as to why I haven't had that many incidences. But I see multiple women, like, all over TikTok talking about, like, if you ever see this, or this on your car, you know, go back inside and call the police. Don't take it off of your vehicle. Just drive away. Don't ever try to stop and do anything. It's, unfortunately, a very, very scary world out there. And I don't even want to say just for women, but for almost anyone female presenting in general. Like, for gay men, for trans women, for trans men, for just, I feel like nowadays it's scary for anybody to be alone. I feel like men, especially men presenting, like male presenting people who are very masculine and very, like, upfront about being just a dude in general, that look like big and bad and scary, I feel like they have a little bit less of a worry. But I feel people who are maybe a little bit skinnier for men, they will also have issues nowadays. I feel like it's just hard to go out and do anything solo anymore. Because I feel like you always have that worry in the back of your head. Like, is someone following me? Is someone going to try and follow me home? It's never just stop trying to sniff my armpit. It's never a safe situation to be alone anymore. And, you know, I think as women, we've always gotten the, you know, oh, they never go to the bathroom alone type of thing. And be like, yeah, think about how many people could, you know, you don't know about who could be hiding in the bathroom. And I get a lot of shit for it from people, but it's kind of like my fear of mascots. And I'm talking about, like, I'm not talking about the mascots, like, people just with face paint or whatever. I'm talking about, like, the full mascot costume. Like, I am terrified of people, or I can't even say of the people, but of the mascot costumes. Because you don't know who's in it. Like, you could make, like, unless I have seen somebody get into a mascot unless I have seen somebody get into a mascot costume and have not, like, my eyes have not left that mascot the whole time, so I know it's the same person, that's different. But we have been, like, there have been times we'd gone to the mall and there'd been a mascot, and I've just been like, I'm gonna stay over here on this side of the hallway. And it sucks because sometimes my kid's like, I want to go see what they've got going on. And I'm just sitting there like, do we have to? Cause, I don't really want to. Cause again, like some of these mascot costumes are so thick. And it's like, I don't know if they've got a gun. I don't know if they've got, like, a hypodermic needle with something that could poke me with something as I walk by. Or, like, you know, you go up to take a picture with them and then they jack you with something. Like, it's just... I know, in hindsight, it is a very irrational fear. And the whole actuality of it happening is practically, you know, 0 to none. But I know at the same time, the chances of something like that happening are never actually 0. Like, we make a whole meme about it. We make a joke about it, about how it's like, your percentage of being able to die from this vicious puppy is never 0. As you can tell, he's chewing on my finger. Thank you for the demonstration. So, it's... I feel like people that, especially trans women or trans men that can pass as male, and men in general, don't have as much of a worry as women. Because unfortunately, we're viewed as the weaker sex. Given, as I've told on here before, I am not above biting anybody. If you try to grab me and I scream bloody fucking murder and you don't let me go, I will bite you. I will get whatever fucking DNA, because my nails, if my nails are not done, which they are not done right now, my nails suck. I will scratch the shit out of you, and trust me, I will bend my own nail backwards before I probably get any DNA off of you. So that's, whole thing, that's not gonna happen, but I will bite the fuck out of you. I will bite, I will leave teeth marks, I will tear a chunk out of whatever the fuck I can get off of you long before I will be able to scratch the fuck out of you. And if you're a guy trying to kidnap me, I am not above kicking you in the dangly bits. I will kick you in the motherfucking ween. I will give you the good old dick twist. I will grab and I will twist like I'm trying to wind up a fucking wind-up toy. Just a warning. And for anybody else, never be afraid to make as much fucking noise as possible. Because I would rather be embarrassed than dead. And I know for some people that is roughly on the same level. If you're embarrassed, you're practically dead. I can understand that, but in hindsight, I would much rather die of embarrassment than die of murder. So, that's my thing. Anyway, we're going to move on to number 4, which is now coming from Am I the Devil? Or sorry, Am I the Devil? And as most of the ones that we get, this one does have 2 titles, so I will be reading the original title and then the Am I the Devil title afterwards, because I feel like the Am I the Devil one always gives it away, so. Am I the asshole for not allowing my son to go to his school dance? I want to say that every time we read an Am I the Devil one, you know, it's an obvious, like, yes, you are the asshole. But there was that one that we read that I was like, are you really, though? My husband, 51M, and I, 48F, have 6 children. Ugh. Sorry, I got the 1 and he drives me fucking crazy. I couldn't imagine 6. 19M, 16F, 14F, 13M, 11M, and 5F. Jesus. Our 16-year-old Gianna is a junior in high school. I really hope these are not the kids' real names, because that is one of my biggest pet peeves when reading these. Gianna is a junior in high school. Our son Riker is in 7th grade. The kids are starting to have their school dances. The 7th grade dance is later this month, and the junior banquet is in early May. We have gone shopping for dress clothes for all the dances. We bought Gianna's dress a few weeks ago. Gianna has usually been a good kid throughout her life. This school year has been slightly harder than others, though. Around 2 months ago, we got a call from Gianna's choir teacher saying that Gianna and a few of her altos were making racist jokes about some of the new pieces she introduced, including an Udu, I think it's pronounced Udu song, and a song from Honduras. We talked to Gianna about her actions, and we made her write an apology to her teacher, as well as a 5-paragraph essay on why it is important to respect music from other cultures, which it is. Riker has a friend from his baseball team who is Honduran. He was born here, but his mom was born in Honduras, and his dad is mixed. When Riker heard out about this, he was quite mad and asked if he could have his friend come over and teach her about the culture there. We allowed this, and he came over with his parents, and they made food, and Riker and his friend talked about sports and music there. Gianna was very clearly not enjoying it, but we made her engage anyway. Our daughter and a group of her friends, including her boyfriend, got in trouble last week for making racist jokes again. We took her phone to investigate to see where this hatred could be coming from. Unfortunately, I don't necessarily feel like it all comes from, like, the phones or anything like that, but exposure. So, I'm not saying taking away the phone wasn't a good move. I'm not saying that, but I feel like it would be hard to pinpoint it from the phone. So, that's my only thing. Riker had his friend over for a sleepover the night we found out about this. During dinner, the boys were talking about how their coach would never let them live through it if they bullied a kid or made racist jokes. My husband and I tried helping guide them through their feelings, like asking them about the diverse athletes they liked. Gianna was hanging out with friends at the mall that night, some of whom were doing dress shopping out for the upcoming dance. Our son and the boys decided to use this as an opportunity to trash the dress using mud, drinks, and cutting a few holes in the dress. We found out when Gianna came home, entered her room, and saw the dress. The boys were laughing, and Riker said they did it because Gianna didn't deserve to go to the banquet, and saying how there could be kids that look like his Honduran friend. We told Riker we were trying our best to educate her in a very white town. We're also white. We told him that this was the wrong way to take out his anger, and as that result, he couldn't go to his 7th grade dance. Riker told us to shut up and spent the rest of his night in his room with the boys. Riker texted my parents and siblings. Wait, I'm really confused here for a second. Oh, okay. So, my parents, meaning grandparents, and siblings, as well as my in-laws. A few have called us and came to his defense, saying he's just a kid who's trying to cope with anger. Now we're unsure if we are wrong. Am I the asshole? So this is what I don't get. So, your daughter, who has been in trouble multiple times through the school for doing racist or saying racist things, and bullying, essentially, a certain racial group, or different racial groups, is still going to be allowed to go to this dance. To go to her dance. Like, but now you're trying to take away I have seen no actual punishment from the parents on this. They have made her sit through something that she wasn't, like, a very educational thing. They made her write a letter. But she still gets to go to the dance. She still gets to go to the mall and hang out with her friends that are apparently also making racist comments. But because none of this is working, and your son took it a step further and was like, well, you know, there might be people that she doesn't like to look at this dance, so I'm going to ruin her dress. So because he's done that one thing after trying to help her out, the best that he can with, you know, what resources he has, he doesn't get to go to a dance. I'm not understanding the thought process behind this. Like, at all. Ow, that hurts. You chew on the toy, not my fingers. No. I just don't understand the thought process behind that. Like, I understand that, like, people don't like to hit their kids anymore. And I'm not saying that you should hit your kids. At all. If that doesn't work for you and gentle parenting works for you, that's fantastic. I try gentle parenting. Gentle parenting is for gentle childrening. And my child is not a gentle child. He tries sometimes. But that ADHD, man, just kicks my ass every time. I guess my best, like, example of the best way that we try comes from yesterday while we were at Ren Fair. I went off because I had to go to the bathroom. So I left Dusty and our son with my husband. Yeah, you stay with Daddy. And when I came back, they were waiting for me outside the bathroom. Like, not, like, right outside, but, like, by a tree that was close by. And our son is bawling. Like, he is bawling up a storm. He's crying. He's going like this. He's, you know, trying to be as small as possible. And he's just angry. And my husband's saying, like, we're leaving. We're getting out of here. And I'm just like, why? What's going on? Like, there's still stuff we wanted to see. There's stuff we wanted to do. Like, what's going on? My son was upset because he wanted to go do something, but he didn't know what was going on because I had taken the map and the itinerary with me. It was in my pocket. So the first thing I did was I stopped my son from having this stance because he likes to do this when he gets angry. He grabs his arms and he tries to make himself like just as like build up a wall like best he can. So because I know he wants to grab something, I made him put his hands not necessarily in his pockets, but his thumbs in his pockets, and then grip the pockets with his hands. So he still had the fists type thing, so it was giving him that comfort of like, okay, I'm grabbing something. It's not where I want to grab, but I'm grabbing something. And then I made him do his breathing. You know, we do the in the nose, hold it for a second, and as slowly as we can outside the mouth. The way I put it is that act like you're trying to blow the biggest bubble you can, and the only way you can do it is by slowly blowing out your mouth. We did that 3 times. I waited till he said that, you know, I asked him again, like, do you feel a little bit better? And he was like, no. I'm like, okay, so let's do it again. So we did it a second time. Do you feel any better? Nope. All right, let's do it again. So we did it a 3rd time. I go, do you feel any better? And I'm like, even like a little bit. And he goes, no, but he had like that fighting a smile. So I was like, okay, we're better now. So I got him to talk. And then I was like, can I give you a hug? And he had just met somebody that had put glitter in his hair. Oh, Dusty Buns. So he had glitter in his hair, and I give him a hug. I go, oh no, glitter all over me. I'm going to die with glitter on me. And that broke him. And then we were able to have a talk and have a conversation about what happened, why we felt that way, and stuff like that. Does that work every single time? Absolutely the fuck not. That move does not work every time. Only sometimes. But we do our best. Are there some times where he just needs a good old spanking on the butt because he's making very unsafe choices and is not getting it through his head, but I don't want him to continue doing what he's doing because what he's doing will hurt him in a situation way worse than swatting him on the butt to kind of like actually get him to pay attention? Yeah. I will swat him on the butt from time to time. I'm pretty sure I could count on one hand how many times he has been spanked on the butt. In 7 years. In 7 years of life. But because we're running out of time, we're going to go ahead and do this one. And I think this 5th one might be our last one. It depends. But we are still in Am I the Devil? Oh, I forgot to read the second thing. So it says, am I the asshole for not allowing my son to go to his school dance, even though my racist daughter gets to go to hers? Which, I brought that up. Am I the asshole for wanting to discuss our child's last name during my girlfriend's miscarriage? Pretty sure I lost my my red flag over here, but if I didn't, I'd be waving that motherfucker right now. So, yeah, obviously, trigger warning. This story talks about a miscarriage. I have gone through one before. It's been like 13 years, so I'm okay. But if you have ever gone through one and you are not okay, please feel free to skip this last one. And I hope that you have a good rest of your day. And I'm sorry that I didn't read that ahead of time and not give you a trigger warning beforehand. Hey Reddit, I, 35M, just got back from vacation with my girlfriend, 33F, of 8 months. She was 7 weeks pregnant during our trip. Before leaving, we had a disagreement about our future child's last name. She wanted it to be hyphenated, but I'm a traditional guy and prefer it just my last name. My girlfriend had a bad experience in her previous marriage, and she says her stance on the last name is about feminism. I'm doubtful and just think her previous husband hurt her so bad she has control issues. Fuck, I wish I had my red flag. Eventually, I accepted her not taking my last name, but I am really upset about the hyphenated last name for our child. During our vacation, we found out she had a miscarriage. We were both devastated. She thought I might leave her and even offered to take my last name. I reassured her that I'm here for her, and we discussed moving in together and trying for another baby once she heals. It has been 8 months, y'all. Seriously, like, whatever. I'm not gonna go anything. I'm not gonna go off onto that. I don't have the time to go off on about that. I didn't bring up the last name issue again because she's still dealing with the trauma of her miscarriage. But it's important to me, and I'm not sure when the right time is to discuss it. Men, I'm going to give you if you're listening, I'm going to give you a little hint. If you are never sure when is an okay time to bring up something like this, wait for them. If they never bring it up, like, let's say it's a year, like, let's say it's more than 3 months. Test the waters. Don't, like, fully jump into it, but just be like, hey, so you remember that one time we were talking about this? Do you think you're okay to talk about it now? If not, that's fine. If not, that's fine. Do not ever make them feel like they have to talk about it if they're not ready. Some people take longer, and that's okay. And if you can't handle how long it takes them, then bitch, go find less. I lost my spot. Okay. So, am I the jerk for wanting to talk about our child's last name while my girlfriend is going through a miscarriage? And would I be wrong for considering breaking up with her if she still wants to hyphenate our child's last name? Why do men? Why do men? That's the whole question. Why do men? Edit. The last name of my children is a hill I'm willing to die on. I am willing to compromise on a million things. In fact, she basically already had a first and middle name planned. I just accepted because I want the last name. I understand times are changing, but then maybe those new age people should date other new age people and leave us dinosaurs alone. You are literally 2 years older than your girlfriend. You are literally 2 years older than your girlfriend. There's no way your maturity levels are on so vastly different levels that you're like, oh, I'm a dinosaur. It's like, okay, then go find another fucking Stegosaurus. Because seriously? This man sounds like he's the one with the control issues, not the wife. Or the girlfriend. Personally, it sounds to me like the girlfriend's just had enough of men's shit in general that she's just like, I'm gonna do me and get what I want, and if somebody's not on the same wavelength as me, then they can go find less. And honestly, I'm all fucking for it. Ladies, if you, like, what makes me upset about this is this is a hill I'm willing to die on. But yet, if it's a will she's willing to die on, she's got control issues. Where the fuck is that even at? Where is that even making sense to anybody at? Come here, Bubby. I know, we're almost done, then we'll take you outside and go potty. So, to me, it doesn't make sense as to why it's okay for him to be willing to die on that hill, but it's not okay for her. Because that's how it's coming off to me. That's just how it's coming off to me. Is that it's not okay for him. Or it's not okay for her, but it's okay for him. So, yeah, I guess I just fucking call me crazy, I guess. Thanks everyone for listening today. I hope you all enjoyed the podcast. If you, get over here. I don't like the idea that you're trying to get down. We're almost done, then we'll go outside. We're almost done. If you know somebody who likes my content, feel free to send me their way in a share. If you would like to send me a message with your own story, rant, question, unpopular opinion, or if you want me to tell others how you fucked up today, or any day, send me a message via any of my social media found in the description below. Just look for my cute little avatar you see on whatever app you're listening on. Please, give a rating if you enjoyed what you heard today. I hear that they help out tremendously. And as always, I will catch y'all next time. Bye! Alright, so while that is fetching the preview, I hope you guys all enjoyed the podcast today. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I'm glad Dusty was able to make a more awake presentation than what he usually does. Usually he's sleeping through this whole video. But apparently today he decided to wake up halfway through and chose violence. My upload schedule, like I have said, are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Central Time. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below or check out my link tree that is in my bio and send me a message on any of my social media. I always try to check all my spam folders, everything like that. So feel free to send me a message via any of those, as well as Reddit, where you can tag me in any story that you would like to hear me read. If I get enough scary stories, I would love to bring back Fright Days. Just saying. But yeah, so if you know somebody who does storytelling and would like to send them my way with stories that they would like to have read on a podcast and have a shout out for their stuff, especially if they have a social media that they are trying to grow a following on, please, 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 please feel free. I would love to do any of those and help out any way I can. But anyway, I will catch you all guys next time. I'm going to take him out to go to the bathroom.